Good morning, Stampers. It is Nellie Batstone here, coming to you live from my studio in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. It is dark and early this morning. I'm here to do a quick makeup class for Wednesday evening that I couldn't do yesterday because I wasn't really sure what the noise volume was going to be. I might have been able to pull it off, but I didn't want to take any chances. But it's nice and quiet. Everyone's asleep. The calmness exists, and the crisp, cool air is just divine. So I'm just going to make sure I am live here. But in the meantime, I will just, I forgot to turn on my mouse. So I made myself a few notes and everything just in case I forget something, as it is nice and bright and early. Well, not bright, I should say. It's dark. The sun's not out yet. But my coffee is ready. And tonight, if you would like to see some more fun stuff, tonight is online bingo. So bingo works where it is, you pick 5 numbers and you participate. And as I call out each number, you decide whether you have a B-I-N-G-O. Once you spell the name bingo, then you are good to go. And you win a cash prize of Stampin' Up! Cash that you can then place an order with and enjoy some free product. So yeah, that is how that works. And if you're still unsure, you could just watch us live. But I am doing 4 fun folds featuring the Greetings of the Season stamp set. So it is a themed of Christmas in July. There we go. I am live, so that is good. And everything's great. And you get 8 kits, 2 of each of these beautiful designs. Everything is cut out for you. So the only thing you need to do is stamp. So if you don't have the Greetings of the Season stamp set, then you could just use whatever you have in your stash. But it is definitely one to get, and the dies are amazing because it comes with all these amazing cute little frames that you could fill with sentiments, and that's what we were using to create these 4 cards. So that is Christmas in July. So we have 20 people registered for Creative Fall Escape, which is my annual fall / Thanksgiving retreat, which falls on September 27th to the 29th. So for many of us here in Manitoba, it is a long weekend because the Monday is the holiday for Reconciliation Day. So it's nice because then we can go a little longer and not have to rush on Monday to get out. And there'll be a Thanksgiving feast put on by Taste of Time. We do card swaps. So if you want to participate in card swaps, it's a great way to get some of your cards and inspiration. And you get a minimum of 4 feet, which is really nice. It's not something, and you can get up to 8. So depending how big your group is, and I try and group you all together as you wish to be seated. We have a continental breakfast with hard-boiled eggs and usually something like cinnamon rolls, or this year I'm doing blueberry French toast. So things like that. Then we have a salad bar for lunch, and on Sunday I always just do a social lunch, and most of the time everybody ends up in the kitchen because they'd rather have leftovers. So it's always a really good time, a very good time. Also, summer promo on, so we've got lots of draw tickets in there for everyone that has liked, shared, and purchased. So just a reminder, it's bonus days as well. So with bonus days, you get to earn free money. So every $60 you spend, you get $6 to spend in August. And that also works if you're a demonstrator. So if you're a demonstrator, it works out really great because August is pre-order for the fall mini catalog. So as a demonstrator, we get everything a month in advance. So if you ever thought of getting a starter kit, then now is the time to get it. And then you can apply your $6 credit to new product that you can't even get yet till September. So anyway, those were all the ideas I had and wanted to share with you. So for now, let's clear the desk and and let's get crafty. So I'm gonna flip you, and hopefully that mayhem. There we go. Excellent. We're in a good position. Just a little bit of juggling there. So as I said, today we're focusing on the Friends for Life stamp set. So this class, if you place an order of $45, then you will get the kit for free. It's my way of saying thanks. A minimum of 45, that is. So we're using quite a few of the products here, showcased here. Now, the ribbon and the gems are on back order, but you'll still get the ribbon, and you can use whatever gems you have at home. I don't usually supply the gems because if you place your order this week, then you get the gems at $60 or more. You get bonus days, plus you get the gems as a thank you for ordering with me. Okay, so let's get crafty. So we'll start with card number 1. And card number 1 is this one here. So I want to do this one first because it's a little tricky in trying to get these squares perfect. And it's first thing in the morning, so I don't know how awake I am yet. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I will cut these squares for you, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on the 6x6 DSP. And so you can figure it out. If you have this kit already, then you can figure out how to make that work. I'm just going to move this up just a tad so we have a little bit more work surface to play with. Okay, so then you'll get a little piece of red to do your sentiment. Now this is the heart that was in this kit here. And so all I did was emboss it with the painted textures. And then there is a strip of 3x6, which we have to trim down to fit. Okay, and then you have, of course, your white that goes on the inside. Okay, which we will trim, so that way you know the measurements. I was advised by my team, they're like, it'd be nice if you gave the measurements or just gave them to us. And I'm like, yeah, good point. So, because usually I don't give the measurements because everything's cut for you, right? So then when you get the kit, everything is there. But then I'm like, oh, wait, but if you don't get the kit, then you don't know because you already have everything. Well, then that makes it a little harder. Okay, so this is your standard base, 4¼ by 11. So your front half is 5½ as always. So we're going to trim this down to 2¾ because that's half of 5½. And then that's going to be our piece on the front. So no wasties. Since we're here and we're trimming, we might as well trim this. Let's make sure it's 5¼ and that it is just a smidge smaller. And then we need 4 inches. There we go. Okay, so then that is the inside of the card. So that is pretty simple. Now, the fun part. Okay, so this is 2¾ So we're going to trim this down to 4 inches because it's 4¼ tall. I just love the shades in here. And then we want, that was 2¾ so we want 2½. Okay. I'm just gonna, oh, actually I need that piece. Oopsies. I just bent it too. Okay. We're gonna use that piece. Okay. We're gonna use these 2 pieces and then we're gonna put this one aside. Okay. So, piece, and piece. Okay, so the only stamping we have to do is some heat embossing. So let's get that done. So we're going to obviously add our powder to remove any grease or anything that we may have there. And then we're going to grab our stamp. So I think I used thank you. Yep. So we'll pull that out. Thank you. Okay, so after this, I will have to get to work. Back to the corporate world, out of my dreamland of the craft studio. Okay, I'm going to turn that because I can't see if I'm straight or not. And then I'm going to stamp that. So of course, Versamark stays stickier longer so that you can do your heat embossing and allows the powder to stick. There we go. And then I always like to keep mine in here, even though I have my handy little tray here. But I find that I like using the bins better. These are just dollar store bins, Rubbermaid, whatever kind of container. And you want to get a good coating on that. And then we're going to apply the heat. Keep that here. Apply the heat to create that beautiful color. Okay, just going to let that warm up a bit. And then we're going to apply the heat. And then you'll notice that, of course, with heat embossing, your letters will start to change color. So as it melts, see how that U is getting, make sure that the camera focuses. There we go. And then it starts to change color as you go through. It goes brighter and brighter as the heat applies. Now sometimes your paper will curl. If that happens, just stick your heat gun underneath and it will put your paper back into shape. Especially if you're doing something like designer series paper, because it's a little thinner. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop this into my paper trimmer and use the inner as my guide so I kind of know how wide I want it. And then I should be pretty good. Awesome. Now you can trim those ends at an angle if you like, but I'm just going to keep mine straight. Okay, so those are my pieces. Now the fun part. So there's tons of amazing colors in here. Excuse me. And I need to take a sip of coffee. There we go. So you can pick whichever squares you want. Maybe you want the middle, so you can cut that up however you like. But I went here along this side because these are the colors that you actually see in my card, right? And so that's why I went with those colors. And so that's where we're going to focus. And we pretty much went to the first green because this is only 2.75, right? 2 3/4. So when you put your ruler, 2 3/4 is about here. So I went a little narrower and tried to get into that first green. Now I wanted the white border, so that is where I'm going to cut my designer series paper. So there's my trim line, and I'm going to cut along this line here so I can get that white into my as a border. Okay, so I'm going to make sure we're nice and straight and cut. Perfect. So now I have that border there. Now we also know it's 4.25. So we are going to trim just a wee bit off that so that we're equal. And then you're going to want to go to about 4.25, which is right about there. So we're going to trim it here. So I'm just going to put a pencil mark so I know where I'm trimming. So it's right this one here. And then we're going to trim off a hair off the other end. Because we just want that border to be pretty even. So I'm just lining it up to the edge of my cutter on that dark grayish brown there. So we got that trimmed. So I literally trimmed like a hair. So thin. Okay, beautiful pattern on the back too, by the way. And then we're going to trim this one. And then we'll see. Let's see here. Okay, just making sure I'm in there. And there we go. Ooh. Okay, just need to trim that a little bit because we got some edge there. So this isn't as easy, which is why I wanted to do it at first. Well, it's easy. It's a little more meticulous. Oh, I didn't trim that very well, so I'm just going to grab my handy dandy nail file and get all the fuzzies off of it. So sometimes it's just not clean of a cut, and I'll just get all that fuzzies off. There. Okay. Then I'm going to trim a little bit off this side, and hopefully, there, I did a better cut that time. Okay, so now we're going to pull out our piece and see how well we line up. And I did go all the way to the end. So yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect on the 2 3/4. But I've got, oh, it's not too bad actually. So there we go. And so it's going to go end to end. However, you'll have a little bit of that pretty in pink on either side, which works out just fine. And then now you have this big piece, which you can use for a second card. Love those patterns on the back. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, so let's glue this together. Just going to add adhesive. Now, if you prefer to have the backside vertical, just make sure you're trimming the right way. I don't think it really matters because when you have an ombre effect on the back, you can pretty much create with it in any direction. At least I think so. But what do I know? Okay, so I'm just making sure that pretty in pink is kind of the same on both sides. And that is that. Okay, so now just some assembly required. So let's get this on here. So we're going to put this on the inside. So I'm just going to grab our adhesive here. My initial to show some love. And then make sure we're even all around, or as best as we can. Now you had this little strip. So I'm going to reuse this strip and make sure it fits there. Perfect. Excellent. And then this is going to be just a little trim detail on the inside of the card. Because why waste? Because you still have this piece, so we can reuse that piece as well. Okay, there we go. And then we need, oops, this one, which goes here. So you can go either way. You can have your dark red at the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter. But I love this ombre effect. I think this is one of my favorites in the pack. I think we used it twice, so, or similar. So we're just lining that up and putting that on the outside. Love liquid glue because just have a little bit of wiggle room to work with. And then because you open this up, we're not going to trim it. We're going to tie it all the way through so you see the gorgeous ribbon on both sides. So you'll get a good foot of this in your kit. So that way you have enough to go all the way around and tie a bow. Okay, or actually I think it's 18 inches. I usually do 18 inches. So 18 inches should be plenty because it's only 4 inches. So you still have like 10 inches left to tie a bow. Or in my case, struggle to tie a bow. Okay. So if you do have a roll of ribbon, as you can see, I prefer to make my ribbon on the roll rather than cut it down. But because I can't ship you, I'm not shipping you a whole roll. You can, sometimes you just end up conserving more. And sometimes, most of the time. Okay. So I'm going to cut those tails with some ribbon scissors. I wish Stampin' Up! Would bring back their ribbon scissors. They were so nice. They're huge, but they're great because just cut so well. But these Fisker ones cut really good too, but I do miss the Stampin' Up! Ones. Okay, so there we go, our bow. And then this just goes here. So you can decide whether you want that pink side on this end or you want it on that end. So I just chose the pink on this end and then the darker color there. So the ombre goes this way. And then we're going to line it up back to where we think we want it again. So we just, want that equal distance all around, because then that way I know where to put my glue. I'm going to slide this bow over. Excuse me, bow. Let's just slide him out of the way for a second. There we go. Could have just did it last, right? Okay. So we'll flip, and I want it right about there. And then now I know where to put my glue. And then I can just flip it over, line it up, and now I shouldn't have any glue. Perfect. Sliding there. And then this can just slide back over top, and we are golden. There you go. Beauty. Now, if you want to hold that in place, I usually like to take a mini glue dot. Oh, these ones are my micro glue dots. So we're going to take a mini glue dot from here, and then we're going to just stick one in the corner so that that bow sits really nice there. Excellent. So then it just doesn't move around as much, right? Like it won't move too much, but then you get to see the ribbon on the back side, but it just holds it in place when you try and stick it in that envelope and then mail it out. It just works better that way. And then now my heart will go here. My heart can't go on. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue here. And then I'm going to top it with a dimensional on this side so that I get that lift on the one corner. And then we'll stick that right in there. So now that my one corner has that little bit of a pop up on the heart, it kind of needs a little bit of bling. Maybe let's add a little bit of shimmer on it. Well, you probably won't see that in the video with Wink Estella just because that ribbon is so shimmery. But I added a little bit of Wink Estella on there, just brushed it to give it some sparkle. And then we'll just put dimensionals on our sentiments. And then you have lots of room on the inside to write. Now you could also turn this into, which I've done in the past, into a gift card holder by just adding a piece here on the inside. Or what you can do is you just take a mini glue dot and put a couple of them here, or even here, put 2 mini glue dots, and then just take your gift card and stick it on, and then it'll hold. And then when a guest and recipient gets this card, they'll see this, gift card on the inside that they can then have if you wanted to give them that. And then you have this whole side open to just write with. So it still works out really good. There we go. And then we'll just put that right there. Now you could also add some embellishments. So these are the iridescent faceted gems. They're so pretty. They don't look as pretty until you see them in person. Like in the catalog, it's like, oh yeah, they're cute. But then you see it here and you're like, wow, they are sparkly. And I love that. I love that they're sparkly. And there's so many upcoming birthdays and events for August that I just need a bunch of cards for. So this is working out perfect. And I just love the boldness of it. So that one was my original. And then here is my second one. So that is card number 1. And we are off to the races. And hopefully I finish in time so I can get to work. So just quick sidebar. This was one of the other cards that I made. And I was going to add to the kit, but then changed my mind. But this is another option, and I just used the 5 squares instead. These are all scraps. So all these 2 pieces were scraps. So I just turned them into a card and just did the general black and white on that one. Okay, so here is card number 2. So you'll get 2 of these in there. So all you have to do is stamp that. And again, the twine will come with it. And, I didn't add embellishments because I wasn't sure. So we'll add embellishments on the next one. Now this card I thought I had was inspired by, I thought I wrote her name down. Oh, here it is. Kim Quaid. I saw this card and I was like, wow, that's beautiful. So I just changed it up a little bit. So this is Case by Kim Quaid. And some trimming will be required. So you will get your strips already in the kit, but I wanted to just show you how I get those strips. So again, this beautiful ombre along the back. Love, love, love this rainbow look. And those of you that know me knows I love rainbows. Okay, so we're going to cut these into 1 1/8 inch strips. Oh, the chicken is awake. The rooster's crowing. Okay, so hopefully you don't hear that too much. Okay, so each strip is 1 1/8, and it's also 5 inches. So I don't want to waste. So which color do I like more? I think I like this side more, so I'm going to cut off, because it's 5 inches. I'm going to cut off 1 inch on this side. And then I have this strip and that strip to use for another card. And then I'm going to flip it, and then I'm going to go to 1 1/8. Okay, and then we need 3 of those. Now your kit will have this already, so don't worry, you don't have to cut these, but for future reference, it is 1 1/8 by 5. Okay, and our third piece. And I'm going to keep these in sequence, and now you have this perfect piece for a second card or a scrapbook page. Now I'm going to keep them in sequence so that the dots all line up, or circles. The painted circles line up. And then you're going to have a standard layer on there that we're just going to take these pieces on and glue down. Perfect. So we're just going to make sure that all 3 sides are somewhat even along the way. I'm going to take this piece first. Now, I always like to do my 2 ends and then just use the middle to make sure they look like and appear like they're all even. So we're going to slide that down a bit. There we go. So that's 1. And then we're going to take our third piece. And then put that here. And then that's our third. Let's just make sure I use this as a guide to make sure we're lined up. So this guy can come down just a tad more. Trying to pull it. There we go. Now we can use this as our center. It goes this way. Yeah. Now we just use the center one to make it look like it's even. Oh man, the rooster is going cray cray. Wonder if you can hear that. Okay, it is plus 11 right now, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Okay, so it's nice and cool and it feels really good. Now we're just gonna take this and grab our sentiment. So excited for you. So I'll put my other one back. Clean it up a bit here. It's Versamark. So if you forget to clean it with Versamark, don't worry, it's not going to ruin your stamp. However, if you use a dark color like red and leave it on there, it will stain your stamp, but it still doesn't ruin it. It's just stained. So you can see mine is a bit stained because of the red. Now, we'll add real red ink on there. Can you guys hear the rooster? Oh boy, they're just crowing like crazy. Comment later. So don't forget to watch, like, and hit replay, or tell me on the replay that you watched the replay. And yeah, or if you're watching from far away, then let me know where you are. I always like to know who's watching my videos. It doesn't really tell you on YouTube or Facebook, so it just tells you that it's been viewed so many times. So no clue where they're being viewed from if you're all from Manitoba or Canada or Winnipeg. Who knows? Or maybe you're all just part of my team. Who knows? But I always like to know where people are watching from because it's exciting. And the fact that I'm helping bring some inspiration your way is even better for me. Uh-oh, my screen just went blank. What happened? Okay, but we're still live, so that's good. All right, probably the chickens. So we have this for the inside, and then you can decorate or stamp that as you like. Now I'm leaving mine blank because of the fact that I don't know what I'm going to put. So excited for you. Could be a new job, could be an engagement, um, could be a promotion, that kind of thing. So a new adventure. So maybe you bought a new home kind of thing. So that's why I like to leave it blank because I have no clue yet who I'm going to give this card to or what I am so excited for them. So we'll put that in and then that. And we're just using some dimensions. And then we have our standard basic white twine, which is in the combo pack. Let's stick this on. Sorry, I have to turn it sideways because I can't put my head in. And it's real red. So real red is actually quite difficult to line up on red because it really blends well and you can't see that as good. But it is there. And then now all we have to do is the other part, the dimensionals as well. So I'm just gonna, I want to make sure I have my ribbon here somewhere. Okay, I do. There it is. My twine, I should say. It's not ribbon. And then we're going to add, I'm going to grab my Seal Plus. I love my Seal Plus. And I'm just going to put a strip along the back so that I know where I'm going to put my ribbon. Or, I keep calling it ribbon, but it's not ribbon, it's thread. So I'm just going to take that and using my fingers, I don't know what happened to my screen here. Go like that. We'll just, oops. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's about good. And then I'm going to twist and drop and get what I can. Oops. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Twist. Twist. And drop in place. Excellent. So one's reversed, one's the other way. Doesn't really matter. But I'll show you both. And there we go. And then we'll trim that. So before we trim it, we'll put it on so we know how much we have. And I'm going to grab a couple minis to put on either side here of the ribbon. So that should keep it in place. And then this should be wide enough to hold, to hold these bigger dimensionals. There we go. And if you struggle, just take your pick tool and go. Pick it up. There we go. Come on, off my table. Okay. Just gonna make sure this is working again. Oops, too big. And yep. Okay. We're good? I think we're good. Okay. I hope we're good. And then we're gonna stick this on. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's a little too long, so we're gonna trim this. Just a wee bit. And then stick that on the front. Like so. This almost reminds me of Monday's Global Design Project. And cut. Ta-da! You know what? I'll put some bling on this one and see if it makes a difference. We'll grab this again. And I don't know why this isn't working. I lost my screen again. As always, it seems to be a recurring theme. Okay. But usually, I don't know, it seems certain hours of the day, it just does that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we're going to take our gems. There we go. And I'll take one and maybe we'll go opposite end on this side and then do a couple over here. Maybe I'll put the big one on there and then the little one on the red so you can actually see that there is something. Oh, I think it's too close. So we'll go meticulously over here more. There. So I don't know if it actually needs it, to be honest, because there's so much boldness in those colors, but you tell me. So I would love to know in the comments if it's even worth putting that blings on there, that gems. So that's card number 2. Perfect. We are on a roll. And yep, I'm losing my screen. And look, I'm still got lots of time to actually make it to work. Fantastic. So this is card number 3 for your weekly online class. And this one actually, did I save it here? Yeah. So brought out something old school, which is the something fancy dies from a couple years back, but love the frames. So I used the mini frame in this one. And the word thinking of you actually and best fit in that mini frame. So that's good to know. Okay, so this one was cased by Michaela Titheridge, the Crafty Oink Pen, or I think is how she pronounces it. I'm not 100% sure. But this is a nice standard basic black. And you'll get all your pieces cut, but I just want to show you how I cut them. So you will get everything, and most of it is die cut, yep, already. And then I have my notes on how big to make the front. So it'll be folded like this. I'll just get that out of the way. And black out of the way. So we're going to take our card base and we're going to trim 1 inch off one side. So we're just going to take that 1 inch off the side here, like so. Okay. So then now this 1 inch is now scrapped for another card. Great for sentiments. And then I cut you a piece here. I think this is like one, here, let me measure it. I think I went 1 1/4. Are we good? I think we're good. I think we're still live. Hallelujah. I thought that alarm went off. Sorry. My apologies. Okay, we're still good. Okay, so this is 1 1/4. Okay, so it's, now you can decide whichever direction you want to put this. So I'm going to go in light to dark. So we'll just stick that on the inside for now. Oh, and look, it's got the beautiful colored pastel bright bold colors on the back too. You know what I love about this one too is the fact that it comes with so many amazing colors. So if you don't have a lot of our ink or paper colors or whatever, you can definitely use this to just really bring in color with some basic white or black or even one of the grays. So use it to your advantage. Okay, so we have that. Now this is 1 inch off. So I didn't write down the measurements on this one. So we are 3 1/4. So perfect. It's a 3 inch piece. Or did I go more? Oh, 3 1/8 because I have less trim all around. So on this piece, you can pick whichever ombre. So I'm going to try and match. I want to match this. So I think I'll use this side. So this side here, I need 3 1/8. Put on my equipment back so that I know where everything goes. So 3 1/8 because the front's 3 1/4. And then I want that dark piece. So we're going to go 5 1/2 less than 8 1/8. And then we'll trim that piece off. There we go. And then this should sit on the front, like so. Perfect. So let's just glue that down since we're here. Oh, there's that gorgeous piece of red and pink shades. Love it. Sometimes I feel like we just don't get enough. Okay, just gotta try and line that up. Okay, there we go. Now we'll do our stamping. So because I just used black, I just used black. So we're gonna grab our happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lots of birthdays. So these will go out this month. And we're just gonna stamp with basic the Memento ink. Your standard Memento ink. I gotta turn it sideways so I know if I'm straight or not, because I can't put my head in there. That's my little trick. And we'll push that down. There we go. Happy birthday to you. We just need that. Absolutely. And then I'm seeing it should be in the envelope. Hang on. I just want to make sure our linen thread is there because it didn't pop out on my table. So it's probably, hopefully that's in, there it is. Okay. So we just need to assemble. So what I did again, just grab some, you can use tear and tape or some Seal Plus, and I'm just going to add that to the back. Oops, I should be careful. I should be careful because we're going to run that over, so we don't want too much adhesive on the back in case that piece is hanging over. So we'll make sure we're only on one half, because otherwise it's going to cause this to stick and then you can't close it, right? So just make sure. So I did just slide over. That's what's nice about the Seal Plus, is it has these little 1/8 strips, so it makes it a little easier. So I'm just going to take this and place it underneath with that little bit of stem showing on the bottom, because I want to put a ribbon there. And then this should just fit right on top. You have that little pop, and then this now goes here, like so. So excellent. Now it's actually quite different but the layout design is a standard layout design, and the thought pattern is there from Michaela, but really, actually, when I think about it, it's really not case. It's your typical standard design. So, okay, so now we're just gonna add dimensionals, and I'll do 3 just to be safe. There. Oh, now I feel like that corner is lonely, needs a 4th. Okay, a little overkill for a tiny little sentiment, but I can't help it. Okay, we're going to make sure those stay on that side, and I want a little bit of that blue showing. There we go. Okay, nothing. We're good. And then we're going to take our ribbon, our twine, which is just linen thread. Love linen. So linen thread is another basic you should keep in your stash, in your inventory, because it goes with everything. And especially with the new beige we have now, it's even better. Okay, there we go. And then we can stick that there to give it a little more bling. So I'm going to add. So I use micro for these. Now you can roll a mini glue dot into a thin strip, but my local scrapbooking store carries these micro glue dots from the same company, by the way. And so I use them to create for when I'm doing little bows like this. And again, you can just get it from your local craft store, or like I said, just roll a mini glue dot in your fingers and it'll work as well. There we go. So there is that. And then we added bling again. This one you could add bling because you can kind of see it, even though the paper is super bold. So I'll stick one there, and then I'm going to put a big one over here, and then a little one up top onto my paper over there. Okay, and that is card number 3 of our online class. So I hope you have enjoyed those. So here's the 2. Turned out quite similar. My bow is just slightly bigger, I guess. Make sure that that's in the view. So we have these 2, and then these 2. Now this one, I added the bling, so let me know if it's even worth it. And I guess it's always worth it, but if it's noticeable or not. And then we have our 3rd one, which was the thank you. So 3 different sentiments. Thank you. So excited for you. Happy birthday. You can do so many fun things with this one, like, love you, friend, miss you, friend, thank you, friend, so excited for you, friend, happy birthday, friend. And then on this one, I put thinking of you, friend, right? Best wishes, hi, and you can mix all those together. So I think there's so much you can do with this one. And the beautiful dies. So I didn't do any of the hearts or the double, which is, I actually did that, I believe, on Monday's class. Oh, I forgot to do my draw. Where's my paper? Okay, I'll have to do that later because I'm running out of time and I have to get ready for work. So it's time for me to get ready for work. So I'll be back. So I'll be back tonight with bingo. So my bingo will not be on my Facebook page. It's actually on my YouTube page, and it's because I go live and then the recording stays there. It's a longer class with bingo, so we're on there for at least 2 hours. And in between each one of these fun folds, there's 4 fun folds, we are going to play bingo. And each one of these are all die cut for you, so you don't have to do any die cutting. Everything's all there. So looking forward to you seeing those. So that's 7 o'clock tonight. Thursday, July 18th. So have a great day. The sun is shining now, and I hope you can get some crafting time in. Thank you for watching, and happy stamping.